Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here. Welcome back to South of Midnight. We move on to now Chapter 13, which is a bit of a longer chapter in terms of story and cutscenes. Not a lot of collectibles, but there are definitely some we'll want to grab. As soon as we're able, let's go ahead and go up the stairs and into the house. Here, directly in front of you, you'll notice Hazel's stuff, which is already packed. But Mom isn't quite home yet, so after we interact with Hazel's box, we can then go and interact with the Mom's box, which is on the kitchen counter. This should start a little bit of a cutscene, where I'll rejoin you shortly.
Mama? Oh, I missed you.
I've only been gone for a few hours. You feeling okay?
Yeah. Now that you're safe. What? Mama? We gotta go.
Well, I gotta pack my things. Why don't you check on Bo and Mrs. Pearl while I finish up?
We ain't got time to waste, Ma.
Waste time.
That's not what I meant.
Please, just go check on Bo and Mrs. Pearl. They might need help.
Fine, but we gotta go ASAP. I packed my bags and yours already.
Well, look at you. Following instructions and a little extra.
Ma, be quick. And don't leave your car.
So obviously we're trying to prevent how the game opened up. At this point we can go and clear the road. There are a few collectibles in this chapter we'll need to grab, a couple of readables and a couple of floofs. There aren't very many. Most of the chapter has to do with the story, and there is a boss battle, but we'll maybe talk about that a little bit more once we get started and get a little bit deeper into some of the other sections of this chapter. Once you start running back home, you want to interact with the car. And once you interact with the car, there is yet another cutscene.
You know, you something else. Few willingly enter my town, but no one ever breaks through my illusion.
You tricked me.
I like you, Hazel Flood. You got vim and vigor, a certain je ne sais quoi. Unfortunately, you will never be fast enough to defeat him.
I'm fast enough to beat your fog to the bottle tree.
Oh, that fog just Kooshma's hunger.
So, those stories about you finding dreamers for Kooshma, those are real?
This town don't run on empty illusions. Kooshma needs powerful nightmares in order to sustain its magic. And I find the most potent ones.
Why did you bring me here?
I've been hunting a creature killer. A dreamer powerful enough to tame Kooshma's hunger. But I can't do it alone. You showed potential, so I brought you here.
And why should I trust the words you say? You promised I would see my Ma again.
No, she's here as promised. She's been reaching out ever since Mala used her magic to seal her wounds, but...
So that was her?
She's in this realm somewhere. Trapped in a loop of despair. A nightmare.
I need to find her.
Wait. Listen to me. Kooshma's hunger is grown, and even you have limits, Hazel Flood.
I can handle him.
You managed to break through my illusion, and that's an impressive feat, but make no mistake, no one defeats Kooshma.
I'm not leaving without her. I will fight for her. I will stop when I'm dead. She would.
It's too late. We already found you. Find your mama and wake her up. It's your only chance.
Say less.
This chapter almost reminds me a little bit of like a game like Alan Wake 2, but directly after that cutscene, a little bit of story progress, we do get straight into a battle, which is how we're going to earn our first of 15 floofs in the chapter. There are also 2 readables. It is our final floofs and our final readables. There is a chapter 14, which acts a little bit like just a pretty long cinematic, if I'm completely honest. So we're going to be working through this battle, which hopefully doesn't last too long for us. And as soon as we're done, I'm going to explain a couple of collectibles that are nearby. Alright, so with that battle done, let's go ahead and unravel the stigma for our first 5 of 15 floofs. Once all of the stigma is cleared, you may not be facing the same direction as me, which is A-okay. But if you are facing the house with the waves, you can turn around 180 degrees looking the other way. Here you'll find a small little fence with a playset next to a tree. You can find 5 more floofs. That brings us to 10 out of 15 for the chapter. And then if you kind of look diagonally across the town, you should notice this small blue house, and there's a longer kind of red trailer. And in the back here are our final 5 floofs of the game. Now, as you pick them up, if done correctly, if you followed along, the achievement should unlock for all 5 floofs as it has on screen. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this achievement because it can be a little bit glitchy for some people. If you want to know if you have all of the floofs in the game, press up on the D-pad. If you've purchased all of the upgrades, you should have 270 floofs left over, which is what you see in the top right corner of the screen. And if you press down on the D-pad, you'll see a counter of 2,210 out of 2,210 in the top right corner. That's another way we know we have all of the floofs. Now, for some people, they'll have 270 leftover floofs, but they will have a miscalculation in the top right corner here. There's unfortunately a small glitch, which I've also personally encountered on my main account, where certain levels are off by 5 or 10 floofs. And until there is a patch, which I'm hopeful there's one around the corner, unfortunately, like for me on my main account, I do not have this achievement, even though I have all of the floofs. So hopefully yours didn't glitch on you, and if it did, I'm hopeful there is a patch right around the corner. That is all of the 2,210 floofs in the game, and if you have the 270 left over after buying all of the upgrades, that means you have all of the floofs. And if you have all of the floofs and you found the video series helpful, please drop a like on the video and share the video with a friend to help them also work towards their 1,000 gamerscore completion. Walk through the building following our objective strand, and there is a run and platform action section coming up. There is quite a bit of combat, quite a bit of cutscenes, and quite a bit of these action platforming sections during Chapter 13. And generally, I've not been doing too much commentary throughout all of them, as I think the commentary isn't particularly useful, especially during the combat sequences, which, as you may or may not have noticed, about, I think during Chapter 5, I switched to the easier difficulties, and I've kind of just stayed on the easier difficulties. From what I've seen of people's viewing habits, it didn't seem like the combat sections were particularly useful to people. The people who want to play on the harder difficulties know what they're doing, and the people who are struggling prefer to play on a lower difficulty anyways. So there's not very many tips I can provide as a guide creator for the combat sections. The combat's pretty standardized across the game, not many enemy types, but there are still some collectibles I want to help you grab, and the first one is in this room. As you enter, you'll notice the push cart directly in front of you with a door up on the wall. Hook around to your right hand side to find a secret room, and inside of this secret room you can find your 102 out of 103 readable documents. So make sure you grab that before you push the cart, and then you use that cart to navigate a little bit further here. As I mentioned, I do like this chapter in terms of like how it's designed. It is really cool. It reminds me a little bit of like Alan Wake 2. We've had a lot of those similar story type games where they kind of play with illusions and stuff. But generally, there's a boss battle coming up that I'm not that fond of. After you do interact with the lever, you can use the grapple point to get across the gap, use another grapple point and a third grapple point to get to the newly opened door. And then as you exit out, I believe there is another kind of action platform sequence. So make sure you succeed at that as well.
Freaking job. Come on. I'm not gonna stop. Damn, Readables.
You'll enter into this building directly in front of us here at the end of this section, and let's see what we see once we enter this room. And that is our final readable collectible. Walk forward, looking to your left into the middle of this room. On the table, approach it and interact with it for readable 103 out of 103, which means an achievement will unlock. And there it pops. And you should have all 103. If not, you can go through your list kind of one by one, find the exact one you're missing in the exact chapter, and go back to figure out which one you don't have. Now, I'm going to be realistic about the situation. You just got a lot of achievements, which means you're hopefully super excited to drop a like on this video. I don't like to ask too often, but this is going to be one of those occasions where I do ask. If you found the video helpful, it does really help out the channel. And if you didn't like the video, leave a comment. Let me know how I can improve in my next video. We're going to now proceed to the objective marker and complete the rest of the level and then the rest of the game. We are nearing the ending sequences here. You have all the collectibles you pretty much need. You should have a lot of upgrades and a lot of different things here. Once inside of this next room, we can break the wall using our push strand, spawn crouton through the hole, work your way to the back of the room where you can find a ramp somewhere. We have to go to the back, all the way to the back of the room. You can use the tree as the ramp, watching out for the expanding brambles. And then our little buddy here, Crouton, which I think has been a fan favorite, but personally, I kind of found him a little bit annoying to use. That's just my personal opinion. But use Crouton to get to the end of the path here, and then you can interact with the button. And that should clear you to be able to enter the door that's too high up on the wall. It should automatically lower itself for you to exit the area, and then you'll end up in another kind of action run and gun sequence. I'm interested what everyone else thinks about this game. I'll share some of my thoughts as we kind of start concluding the game a little bit further, and I'll try to summarize what I think. I'd love to hear what some of you guys think also in the comments down below. If you're a big fan of the game, if you think the game's kind of average, or maybe it didn't live up to your expectations. Obviously a wide variety of opinions out there, and I also have one opinion, so excited to maybe talk a little bit about what I thought about this game in a few minutes, and after a few more combat sequences. There are a few more arenas coming up, as well as that boss battle I mentioned, and we're going to be working our way through those, although none of them provide any floofs for us. You should have all the upgrades and enough floofs to get you through the rest of the game, no problem. But even though there are some combat arenas coming up, no floofs you have to worry about. You do want to platform, quite a bit of platforming until we get to the battles or the arenas, and then once we're in the arenas, quite a bit of arena combat, kind of back to back to back to back to end off Chapter 13. All right, so as we end up kind of coming to this platform, Hazel will mention that it looks like her living room here to the left. And you'll notice that her mom is in this living room. Basically, you have to like wake her up. As far as I understand the story, you're trying to wake her up to basically defeat Kooshma so you can like save her from the flood. The story kind of lost me a little bit here, to be completely honest. She's actually gonna, I believe, like help you because she's also, I believe, a weaver. I may be misunderstanding a few moments here, but this cutscene is essentially also the beginning of the Kooshma boss battle. Luckily for all of us, the Kooshma boss battle does not have an achievement for taking no damage. I'll rejoin you with commentary in a second, though.
I'm okay, Ma. I'm okay. Ma? I love you, Ma. This is now.
So this is the Kooshma boss battle. It's hard to even call this a boss battle. The reason is because it works basically as what you're going to see. You spend a little bit of time dodging. After you dodge a bunch, Kooshma will just spawn a wave of enemies. And then after you defeat those enemies, you'll just automatically do damage to Kooshma's health bar. You actually never interact with Kooshma directly. You just interact with enemies that spawn onto the battlefield, as you're seeing now. And then as you see, like when I attack this enemy here, it's going to, after I defeat this enemy, or any enemy really, after I defeat this enemy, you'll notice Kooshma's life bar in the top right corner basically fades a little bit. And that's how we're damaging Kooshma, by kind of killing these illusions. I'm doing very badly at this fight somehow right now. I'm very sorry. Talking as I do combat is something I haven't really been working on much throughout this series, clearly. So we're going to just be taking out lots of enemies. Again, like I said, if this boss fight had an achievement for completing it without taking damage, it'd probably be one of the most impossible achievements in the game, maybe on Xbox, like ever. I definitely did a couple of phases of this boss without taking damage, but doing all 4 of them back to back would probably be extremely difficult. Obviously, I can be using my abilities much, much, much better than I have been. I've been doing a pretty bad job at this boss fight. But as you can see here, we've completed the arena, and that is the first of 4 Kooshma phases. Between phases, sometimes we'll travel from location to location using some action platforming. There'll be some cutscenes in between as well. I'm going to probably stay silent for the next 5 or 10 minutes, I believe, as we go from point to point, cinematic to cinematic, and arena to arena, doing damage on Kooshma. The boss fight does evolve a little bit from phase to phase, but not enough for me to have to tell you what to do. It's a pretty simple boss fight mechanic, and unfortunately, in my opinion, a little bit disappointing as well.
That's impossible.
As impossible as you asking Hugging Molly to help find kids in need?
How did you know?
I'll explain later. Right now, I need your help. I can't do this alone. I need you to trust me.
What do you need me to do?
Whatever you do, hold on to this bottle.
I got your back, bud.
Keep that bottle steady. I got the rest.
God, watch over her.
So as we kind of conclude the final boss battle here, I think it might be a decent opportunity for me to share some of my personal thoughts about the game, despite my awful combat on screen here. This boss battle itself is not a great way maybe to end the game. Feels a little bit unfinished, but overall, I love this game quite a bit. I think graphically, artistically, and style and aesthetic-wise, it does really hit the nail on the head. The visuals are great, but on top of that, the audio is probably one of the best parts of the game. The original soundtrack is absolutely incredible. The songs get stuck in your head, and it's a great time there. There's a little bit of repetitiveness in the chapter design, unfortunately. After you kind of learn the formula, it kind of just starts repeating every chapter, which is a little bit unfortunate. It would have been cool to have another actual full boss battle in there. Maybe a few less run and gun sections or those kind of action platform sections. And then when it comes to the combat, at the beginning of the game, the combat feels pretty fun and difficult. But then after you learn some of the abilities, it kind of gets stale pretty quick. You fight a lot of the same enemies, and there aren't very many new mechanics introduced throughout the game. I think you could do a little bit better on the combat and a little bit better with the variety from mission to mission. Otherwise, I love this game quite a bit, and hopefully you liked it too. Solid 7 to 8 out of 10. Completing the boss battle does bring us into a cutscene, which more or less does end off the chapter as well.
Get to the bottom tree.
I'm not fast enough. You gonna have to finish it.
Okay.
Don't look back, baby. Go. Stick. Finish it.
This place again? Where is she?
Oh, don't worry. She's back in Prospero. Safe. I'll send you back there.
Well, don't let me keep you. Send me off.
Oh, I keep my promises. Now it's time for you to keep yours. Remember on stage at Kooshma's Cabaret, a favor for a key? Well, it's time for you to pay up. I need you to give this hairbrush to your grandmother.
Get in line. I have my own reckoning to do with her.
Well, then do us both a favor.
And why can't you do it yourself? I'd imagine Kooshma's right-hand man can give a hairbrush to an old woman.
That old woman is what we call a false stitcher. Now, unlike you, she wasn't chosen to be a weaver. Instead, she uses a dark magic, killing creatures and tearing through the grand tapestry, leaving a trail of corruption behind.
That explains a lot.
All I'm asking is that you give her the brush.
What does it do?
It's a one-way trip to Kooshma.
Kooshma again? I thought he was dealt with.
You can't defeat the king of dreams and not mess. You contained his hunger for now, but he ain't gonna stay put for too long.
All right, fine. Get me out of here, and I'll give Bunny the brush. But that's it. After that, you and I are done.
I knew I liked you, Hazelflood. See you on the other side.